This is a painting I did probably 15, 16 years ago. Watercolour, probably using Bockingford, which I'm using now. I can't remember now, so long ago. In those days I used to sign my name with my initials, DM Usher, but a friend, an art teacher friend, suggested that it would be a little more professional if I called myself by my surname, so that's why I do. So what we've got here is just some trees and some distant hills here, a couple of little houses there, downland. But I'm going to do it as a snow picture because we're coming up to that time of year. And I've got quite hooked on painting these things, these snow scenes. It's good practice. I did a board one a few minutes ago. I went back to the wet in wet with the Fabriano and I really lost my way with it, having got used to these round brushes. I used the Hake, but I don't know, I've got 90 sheets of Fabriano to use. Anybody wants it? Anyway, I'll go down below where my sheet is. Let's zoom you out. There we are. So there we are. So I've done a rough drawing. It's nothing like what I'm copying from or what I'm working from. It's just a crutch. Just well, if I'm honest, I'd have to say that I'm a bit bereft of any new ideas at the moment, having done so many over the last year. Sort of run out of a bit of steam. So let's just wet some of this paper here with my large number 12 sable mix. Right, just a bit of a wet. I'll wet the foreground as well, because the whole thing will expand and this might be a bit nice and uniform. So a bit of blue, a nice bit of blue. There we go. Nice and loose. I don't want to get anything too dark on the horizon, but I want a bit of blue. Got a bit heavier blue over there. Surprising how light you can make these colours and they still register by the time you've got everything else on it. Right, let's put in a bit of cloud shadow, light red and ultramarine. I'm going to lower my angle a bit here, so I'll have to alter the camera view. That's it, get to there. Just do the top bit here. There we be. Let's slide it down anymore. Right, let's take you down. Okay, just on my way down as such. Talking about Nigel Lawson and LBC. Right, a little bit of tea. So I'm going to put in this cloud. All the way across. Because I saw a sky yesterday with a bit of light, but the cloud was all the way across. And very faint. And there. So let's put in some warmer raw sienna for the clouds behind the clouds. Bit of light red in there, but light red, be very careful because it's such a strong colour. But it warms the sky up in what would otherwise be a very cold picture. And there. Okay, that's down to the horizon. Now I think we can afford to put in a bit more darker cloud over that. Now you'll notice that if you use this, the blue separates from the red. Makes lovely warm clouds. Oh, we've lost a bit there, been a bit cauliflowery there. I hope I'm not being too clever here. Yeah, that's got a bit long now, but I could do this with the hake really, but I quite like this. Start some clouds disappearing over the horizon there. Right, there we have a sort of complicated sky, in the sense that there's a lot going on. We've got a nice big cauliflower around there, haven't we? I'll wait till that dries and I'll do something about that again. Right, give it a nice good stretch. Oops. It's really tough watercolour paper. Well, considering the abuse it has to suffer. Right, that's it. Oh dear. Well, I'll give that a dry. Now, I'm not decided yet which way the light's coming. If the light's coming from this bit here, the shadows are going to be that way. But it would be nice to have shadows coming that way to show the shape of the land. So I will do that. Right, with my number 10, I'm going to Put a wash of raw sienna and burnt sienna for my trees. And I'll go over these. So, the just to show a couple of nice shapes there, and the dark shadow side. I suppose burnt umber and ultramarine would be a good mix for some lovely warm shadows. So the light's coming from that way, so we want the dark on this side. And if you want it to register on the wet paint, you need to do very thick. There. Do the rest with the rigger. Just going to put some clean water on the other side of that because it's gone a bit dry there. Just to move it, flood it over a little bit, soften it. Right, okay. I could put some ivy. I'll do one with a bit of ivy on. We'll have a piece of cloth handy to dry this off. Bit of dry brush on there. Burnt sienna and ultramarine. Try and keep this all soft. I haven't finished these trees. I've got to do some. They look like beech trees. If they do, that's a purely coincidence. So this will be just a bit of ivy clad. Let's put a rigger in there. Need some water, right? I'll use a bit of Payne's grey with the burnt sienna. Just a tree that's seen better days. think I might even put some white gouache on that at the end, if I remember. But to do that, because it's got to be nice and dark, otherwise it'll be lost. Okay. Let's put a bit of nice warm in there. This is going to bear no relation to the one I'm copying, or just using as an idea. Because the danger of this is making this one look the same as that, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. But every time I put a canopy of twigs on the ends of these branches, it shouldn't be too bad. Right, let's put in some nice colours in there, some nice warms, mostly burnt sienna. Bit of ultramarine to make some darks the other side there. Down there. Very fine tip. Let's move away from them for a while I use another round to do these roofs. Now they're going to be quite distant, so we'll have slightly blue, slaty grey. Just clean my palette. Because there's quite a lot of painting to do in that area, and I want a lot of blue in there as well. Maybe if I painted that first. So the number 10. So I'll blue, a nice sort of faint blue, bit of grey. can make them a little bit stronger if you wish. There's a tiny bit of burnt sienna in with the mix. Just try to break up that line. Now slightly warmer. I'm going to put in another row of trees here, coming up there. Warm going in there. Just change that shape there. Right, let's put in some very, very faint blue. Just to show the shape of that, and a bit of shadow in there. Right, okay. So now we've got put a bit of a bluish wash over that, painting around the houses. Right, now we'll carry this slope on down here with burnt sienna. Bit of lemon yellow as well, why not? Bit of blue. Oh, it's a bit wet there. Blue, sienna, lemon yellow. Right, let's put it away then. Got a little bit of water on there. So it's a nice warm green there. These are sort of almost in silhouette now. Okay, that seems alright. I'll put in some twiggy branches. Darkish, greeny stuff in here. Leaving some air with the ivy. Right, now I'm going to put some trees, some leaves or some twigs back on here. So bird umber, ultramarine, just gently just stroke them in. Too much water on there, I think. So you could do that with this paper. It's so lovely and roughish. It's not a very rough paper, but it's rough enough. It's what we didn't have with the Fabriano. Now, I'm going to dry brush behind there with a bit of Ultra and some alizarin, bit of sienna. We can just, oh, it might be a bit too interesting. What I'm trying to show there is something going on at the back of this tree, and it shows some distant. This is being a cool colour. It's going to take this back in the landscape. Okay, that will do for that. So I put some more black branches in there. I'll probably put some white bits in there. Well, I will. I'll certainly put some snow bits. And I've got to drink my tea. So that's blue roofs, blue grey, but very, very light. On the chimney stack there. Sort of less than snow in there, really. Yeah, why not? Let's reverse the procedure. Right, what I'll do, I'll carefully, with a little brush, I'll put in some darkish, dark stuff to show. some slipped snow. Warm me up a bit. So we'll have a bit of sienna for the shadow side of these buildings. Oh, a little shadow there. Right. Put in some detail there. They're not really showing up because they're quite a long way away. No, I don't really like those. Right, okay, we'll solve that problem. We'll put a tree in front of that. Right, bit of an evergreen. That'll mask it. Right. Burnt umber, lemon yellow and Payne's grey. Just notice that this green is quite a good green. It's subdued, more olive, dark olive green than anything else. So that will do for that. Well, these trees are coming on quite well. Let's put some tints on there now. So let's there's some sienna in these. So we'll put that in. So this is the slope away from the light, so put that in. Let that dry. Right, while that's drying, I'll just put in some strong branches. For that, burnt umber, burnt sienna, ultramarine. It just adds that little bit of sparkle, and going into those canopies that I did. Oops. Don't want to do too much on the back one really, but Right, that'll do. Let's not get carried away. Some twigs coming up here. But I need some water to do this. Bit of texture, because that's much closer to this. And we'll the paper's lovely and dry now. Well, in bits it is. All these nice bits of detail in. Right, I'll swig of my tea. So we'll knock up a nice shadowy colour, and we'll put a shadow all the way across here. And we'll show something casting a shadow right, okay. Now we can put a bit of texture in there with vigour. Just show some grass sticking up, coming down there. Now a little goes a long way. So we will have a bit of shadow cast for these things. Okay, that needs to be a little bit more solid there because it's showing what I put in the background. So Right, I need a bit of shape on this hill here, so let's just. Right, that will do. I'm not going to put any figures in. I want to put it in a mount and have a look, see what we've done. I do like these brushes. I'm really enjoying them. I don't know what we do with the Fabriano. So let's just sign in. I quite like these warm clouds coming up over the horizon. Right, let's have a look in the mount, because that is the best way to view these things. And I'll show you the painting that I've done from it, or from the original one. Is that right there? Yeah. Oh, I was going to put a little bit of white in here, wasn't I? Touch of blue in it. No, it's a bit naff, but we take it out if they like it. Right, it's okay. See what that looks like. I'll move the camera so that everything's all nice and horizontal. Right, okay, that is as good as it's going to be. Let's zoom in, go around the picture. I quite like those trees. Let's have a look at that one. Yeah, they look like beech trees. That was just a sort of a nondescript really. An ivy covered dead tree going down. That's covering up my mistake. And yeah, let's go to the foreground now. Just to show the shape of the ground, the use of shadows, and also to break up the starkness of that expanse of snow, just put in some grasses just poking through. Right, let's zoom out again. I quite like that. There's a nice sunny bit there, catching the light coming from here. Yeah, I'm reasonably pleased with that, and I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.